these two wharves here, it will create a space behind that wall and between the wharves, sort of trapping us inside right now, you can imagine. And what the Puritans would then do would be to drain that space of water and then fill it with dirt from the hills of the peninsula, thereby creating a new plot of land for development. Well, then they would just keep on doing that until the hills were gone and we had Boston as we know it today. In fact, today, 75% of all of the land in the city is man-made. And if you look around yourselves right now as we start to leave the wharf in 360 degrees, every single piece of land that you'll be able to see at this time was not here back when Boston was first founded. It's all been wharfed out into the harbor, which you can probably imagine is a lot smaller today than it was back in 1630.
在游船的右前方，这栋前方花岗岩石建成的房子，在19世纪40年代是海港政府的办公的所在地，现在已经被改为了商业住宅楼。我们的游船直接掉头，等游船掉头过来以后，大家在右手边可以看到一座褐色的金属桥，像这座桥在游船的正前方。这座桥叫做北大街桥，它是一座可以旋转的桥。它是由麻省理工的学生在1905年设计的，剩下的全国几座同类桥梁之一。另一座在长石城，我们大家可以看到它。像北大街桥就在游船的右前方1点钟的位置，在桥的右后方是格里芬码头。在格里芬码头发生了这姆波士顿清查事件。在1773年12月16日，自由之子，也就是由律神主超过者，他伪装成同族美国人，偷偷地摸上了3艘因手的帮助船只，把传送货物全部捣毁，并且把342箱价值1.8万茶叶打入滨海中。这事件称为波士顿清查事件，也被称为波士顿茶党事件。事件发生后，英国国派了5000士兵几次镇压，并且出台了一系列的强制性法令。这成群民众的联合反抗导致了美国独立战争，它是美国国cal据点之一，也是美国的重要历史事件之一。在桥的左手边，这栋前面漆血玻璃的红砖建筑是约瑟夫·莫尼克联邦法院。这前面漆血玻璃代表的是正义猖獗的城市的波澜，它是坐落在上行码头上。之所以称为上行码头，是因它的形状而得名。
Off the starboard side now, we're passing by a rusted metal bridge called the Northern Avenue Bridge. Just on the other side of it is Griffin's Wharf, the site of one of the most famous events in all of American history. On December 16, 1773, a group of American patriots, loosely disguised as Native Americans and calling themselves the Sons of Liberty, charged down Griffin's Wharf, crying out, "No taxation without representation." Well, they then proceeded to dump nearly 92,000 pounds of tea out of the holds of 3 Nantucket merchant ships called the Eleanor, the Dartmouth, and the Beaver, and into the harbor in order to protest heavy taxes which had been levied on the colonies by King George III of England. Now, back in the day, they called that event the Boston Tea Action, but today we do, of course, refer to it as the slightly catchier Boston Tea Party.
北大机墙将2个区域分开来，在北大机墙右手边呢是市中心，北大机墙左手边游船右前方这一块是南波士顿。南波士顿曾经是皮革服装配业区，现在是现代港区，云集酒店、办公楼、会展中心，还有正在就修的上行码头。过去这里污染非常的严重，但是现在已经是面目一新了。在岸边我们看到的这个岩石防堵墙告诉我们，这里是人造土地。南波士顿100%的土地都是人造的。在游船的右前方，差不多是1点钟的位置，岸边这栋玻璃立方体的建筑是当代艺术研究中心，它是建于2006年，这里每年都承载几项文化艺术展品。
Just now you can see these 2 vessels tied up alongside of us, or tied up alongside the Seaport District of South Boston right now. And the one with 3 masts there and that big blue and white flag on the back, that is a Uruguayan tall ship. It's the training ship for the Uruguayan Navy. It's called the Capitan Miranda. To the left of it is a Nantucket lightship, which I'll tell you a little bit more about on the other side of the harbor. Looking into the Seaport District of South Boston here, like I said, this is actually the newest part of the city of Boston as a whole. There's been a huge amount of construction and development going on here in recent years. And to prove to you just how much, I'll point out to you that low cube-shaped glass building which sits right in front of the taller building that says Goodwin up at the very top. The lower building is the ICA. It was built there in 2006 And when it was built in 2006, it was actually the tallest building in the district. So you can see exactly how much construction and development has been going on here in the past 13 years.
在右前方的这是联邦码头，联邦码头上的是世界贸易中心，也就是挂着很多国旗的这栋建筑是世界贸易中心。每年来自世界各地许多展品和展览都在这里展出。每年出去的波士顿水上船展也在这里举行。这里还称之为卡达西洋克鲁码头，在全盛时期，玛丽和伊丽莎白王都亲自在这里乘坐过卡达西洋开来。
Just now we're passing this low tan building with all the flags running around the top of it. This is the World Trade Center here in Boston, and those flags around the top represent each and every one of the countries which do business here in the city. To the left of the World Trade Center there, you can see the South Boston Fish Pier. Built in 1914, this is the oldest continuously used fishing pier in the entire country. Today it is home to one of the largest fishing fleets on the eastern seaboard. You can see just a few of those fishing vessels tied up alongside the pier there. Those are called stern draggers. They're called this because they cast nets from their sterns and then drag them along to catch their fish. Doing it 150 miles offshore out at Georges Bank, one of the richest fishing banks in the entire world.
在右手边呢，这是美国基伯纳的渔码头。这渔码头建于1914年，这里停靠着东亚最大的捕捞船队之一。这些船队去到150米的长春海捕鱼，而长春海岸是世界上最富庶的捕捞区域。接下来我们看到的这个白色的大帐篷是南山银行的月月堂，他们举行夏天一系列，许多大牌艺人都在那演出。在它后方靠海的位置是一个干的码头，我们在右前方可以看到一个大铁门，这些船只从大铁门拉至码头以后，这大铁门会关闭密封，然后排出出露出整个船体，人会在船体上工作。
This big white tent we're passing right now is called the Rockland Trust Bank Pavilion. It hosts a big summer concert series here every single year to welcome many big-name artists like Beck and Bob Dylan, both of whom have played here in recent summers past. In between it and us right now, you can see this big metal gate that says General Ship at the very top of it. And this is the gate of a dry dock, a method of performing repairs on a ship. Now, if you want to repair your ship in there, what you would do is open up that big metal gate, which would allow water to flood into the space behind it. You could then float your ship in on top of the water, shut the gate behind it, and then pump all the water out once again, leaving the ship high and dry to have repairs done on it.
在右前方写着利沟西附属的这栋建筑是合法海鲜的加工和质量工作厂，他们也标准控制海鲜质量，也保证高品质的海鲜被控制到合法机构的连锁店。在这栋建筑的上方是一条2吨重的曲翼造型，它总长45英尺，高60英尺。它同时还是风向标，可以预测风的速度和方向。
Just now, we are passing the Legal Seafoods Quality Control Center. Now, if you have ever eaten at the famous seafood restaurant chain, all of your food has been inspected for quality right here at that building. Sitting up on top of it, you may have noticed that big metal fish. That is a 45-foot-long sculpture of a codfish, which cost the company nearly $750,000 to install. But it is not just a nice-looking piece of art, it also serves a very important purpose because at night, that fish's eyeball can light up different colors in order to indicate the speed of the wind out here on the harbor.
从渔码头过来左手边，也就是西山右边的这一块，是曾经的旧的陆军炊事基地。在右前方那栋长的灰白色建筑叫做法戈建筑。法戈建筑是建于1910年，过去它是世界上最长的、规模最大的建筑，但是很快就被取代了。在2次世界大战期间，那里堆满了数百吨的设备，还有成百